Hi guys, hope this video finds you guys all in good spirits and are doing well. It's being recorded on my cell phone because for some reason the audio doesn't match up with the video on my point and shoot camera. I think my point and shoot camera is just going to be for pictures now. But today I wanted to talk about social media because it's been rattling around in my brain ever since I watched 13 Reasons Why. So, to start this off, I'm going to give you my personal brief history, as brief as it is, about social media. I was in the 6th grade, which I was 11 years old, when my parents got the very first computer. And back then, it was the dial-up internet connection, which was the, get off the computer so I can use the phone kind of thing. I was introduced, my first kind of social media was the chat rooms, and I was introduced to MSN chat rooms, which at that time people were pretending to be famous people, like all the NSYNC members, like Justin Timberlake, Lance Bass, Joey Fatone, so that was very interesting. My first group social website was a website called Cybertown, and that was between 99, I have my notes, between 99 and 2000, because I was still in middle school, and you could create your own avatar, and you had all these different places to go to. For example, there was coffee houses, nightclubs, bars, and you can chat with different people from all over the world. A lot of the times it was just me and my friends chatting away, because it was cool to, you spend 7 hours a day with these people, and then you come home and get on the computer, and you spend another 7 hours with them chatting. And also at the time, ICQ was becoming popular. It took me a year to accumulate a lot of people, and our computer crashed for 3 days, and I lost them all. I was devastated, because a lot of those people would not had me afterwards. I was catfishing at that time. And then I transitioned into Yahoo chats, which then later became Yahoo Messenger. I met a lot of people on the chat rooms, mainly a lot of people from Texas for some reason. I don't know. I had met someone from Texas who then introduced me to a social website called Face the Jury, and I spent $20 to buy a subscription so I can interact with more and more people. I got to interact with my first girl on Face the Jury who wasn't straight, her name was Candy, so that was interesting. And I had met my boyfriend when I was 16. His name was Sean. He was the same age as my brother. And I just thought, oh my God, he's so dreamy. I was so naive then. I'm so glad I dodged a bullet there. Whew. Because I found out later on that he was cheating on me, and the way I found out is I was talking to the girl that he was cheating on me. I was talking to her roommate on ICQ. So that, her and I, we still talk to this day. We are big Supernatural fans together, so we interact a lot. So Sean is no longer in the picture, but she still is, so that's a positive, right? Positive. Let's see. After that incident with Face the Jury, I was introduced to LiveJournal, which is a blogging website, and I am considering blogging websites as social media, because I look at social media as anytime you interact with other people. That includes Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, any blogging websites, all that. I kept the LiveJournal for a while, and then my senior year, MySpace blew up. And at the time, you could only be 18 or older to be on MySpace, but people were lying. I was one of them, because I was 17 when I signed up, about their age, so. And back then, MySpace was cool because you could customize your homepage or your profile and put music, and then you had the top 8, and so many fights happened when you knocked someone down off the top 8. And when MySpace first started, you could only have 8 pictures at a time, so you were constantly rotating your pictures out. And then it blew up, and you could add more and more pictures, which became albums. And then in 2009, Facebook went public, because Facebook at first was just for strictly college students. And I went on Facebook. I started my Facebook in July of 2005. And the only way that you could get on Facebook at that time is if you had a college email address. So I've been on Facebook for going on 12 years now. So that is my brief history with social media. The downfall of the social media is I let it consume me. I loved interacting with people that weren't in my hometown, that weren't in my state. It was, as Justin says, I always wanted the bigger world versus the little world, which is your hometown and friends that you interact on a daily basis and family. I always wanted the bigger picture. And so that's why I let social media consume me. And my mom and dad, they did their best on trying to monitor me using it, because the computer was in the living room, so you couldn't sit there and look at porn without everybody that was in the living room seeing it. But there was ways around that. I mean, my mom, she like I said, my parents did their best on controlling my interaction with social media. My mom took the computer chair one time. She hid it from me. That didn't stop me. I just sat on the floor. She took the keyboard one night, but what she didn't know is a couple days before, I had went through and made a Word document, and put in every single key that's on the keyboard. So I just copied and pasted. That took a long time to do. And then finally she just took the mouse, because you can't do anything without a mouse. Excuse me. And then she would put a password on the computer. I would just unplug the computer and plug it back in, and it'd be fine. So my parents did their best on trying to monitor my social media interaction. And social media is great to stay in contact with family and friends that you cannot see every single day. And I used social media a lot when I went to college, because that helped me staying in contact with family members back in my hometown. Like I said, there's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Snapchat. Snapchat is when you can send pictures, chats, and videos, and they last 10 seconds, and then they disappear. Sometimes you can save them, but you can only save them for 30 days. My thought on Snapchat is, yes, I have used it in the past, and I liked it because of the filters. Like I said, I liked it mainly because of the filters, but I think that it can be predatory for tweens and teenagers, because people that are older can send naughty pictures to teenagers, and teenagers aren't thinking because their mind is still developing. They send the X-rated pictures, and you can screenshot it and save it, and then it can be a great app, but then it can't. Just like with any other kind of social media. Because like I said, predators, I experienced that because on Yahoo Chat, when I think I was a sophomore, I was a freshman, sophomore, whatever, there was an older guy in a chat room that I talked to, and he would turn his webcam on and just play porn for me. And I would watch it, because I was trying to figure out who I was and figure out sexuality and all that stuff. And yeah, there were a lot of dirty people on there, and there's people that like to cyber and send dirty pictures, send dirty videos, all that stuff. It can be very traumatic for people, and then that's where I got the theory, you see one penis, you see them all. Okay? 13 Reasons Why I brought it up, because in 13 Reasons, why there is a picture of Hannah that gets sent around the school. And yes, I know in the TV show it's probably in a mass text, but people have done it in the past on Facebook and MySpace and Instagram. And I think YouTube is a lot better in controlling. And I want to say Twitter is too, but I don't really know Twitter because I did use a Twitter account back in 2008 when the election was going on for Barack Obama. But after that, it was no big deal for me. I didn't really see the big thrill of Twitter because I already had Facebook and you could already post statuses on there. So, but there's cyberbullying, there's statistics, there's stories of people killing themselves because they've been catfished, and there's a whole TV show on MTV for it, and it's detrimental, to young minds because people don't think before they type. I was one of them, and as I gotten older, as you're getting older, you stop to think before you react. It's just part of growing up. Parents need to teach their kids on the proper use of social media. And I know April had posted a video one time talking about Facebook and the teenager that she now has in her household. Parents need to teach them the safety of social media, and explain to them what some of the dangers of social media can bring to them. Another thing that I think that social media is great for is that you get to interact with people that aren't in your hometown. You can have support groups because there's support groups on Facebook that I'm part of for polycystic ovarian syndrome, and then you find people that have the same interests as you. I'm part of a Facebook group of Funko Pops, buy, sell, trade kind of thing, and that's great. And then there's the downfalls about the social media with the groups is, for example, let me give you this one. There is a group on Facebook that is geared towards my hometown, and it's, excuse me for the language, Nosy Asses of Adrian. When I first found this group, I thought this is great because this is kind of a neighborhood watch, community watch, right? And you can know when, what's going on, and, weather reports and stuff like that. Avoid this street because there's road construction, but you can go around and all that. And they talk about certain topics that are going on in my hometown. But then it just got nasty. People would go on there. People would just go on there and start just berating people. Like, for example, there was this one time that this mom was trying to find her son, and she had started to attack my friend Coral and my cousin, who got dropped on her head multiple times, was criticizing. They were talking about how whorish she was, how she jumps from dick to dick. Excuse me, sorry. And how horrible of a mother she was. It just became really nasty. What started off as a good concept just became, people picking on other people. So that's another bad downfall of social media. The one thing bad about social media is people are bullies. Like I said, they don't think before they speak. And another, prime example is the Trump election. People weren't thinking before speaking, and they just, word vomit. So, and our president even does that with his Twitter account. He becomes word vomited psychopath. Yeah. And, I was that person. I was nasty. I would berate people, and then I was like, oh, woe me. But as I've gotten older, I realized how detrimental it can be to other people's self-esteem. So, I think parents that talk to their kids about the proper use of social media and are always a part of it, I give you kudos. Because as it was new territory for my parents, and they didn't know how to. And now that the people that started the social media are becoming parents, and they're becoming more and more aware of the dangers of social media. And you just think before you type, people. And don't be a troll and try to be nasty and hide behind a computer screen, because you're not fooling anyone. So, that is my thought on social media, and I hope you guys all have a great day. Bye!